Meeting started, the regular village board meeting, Monday, September 8th, 2025. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do a roll call, please.
Mayor Beal,
Here.
Trustee Bowden,
Here.
Trustee Hudson,
Here.
Trustee Richards.
Here.
Trustee Sandberg.
Here.
Trustee Sluse.
Here.
Trustee Sturba.
Here. Do you have any public comments?
Yes. Hello, Ed Nelson, Peatone Historical Society. Just wanted to remind everybody that our Old Mill Fall Fest is coming up Saturday, September 20th and Sunday, September 21st. Saturday is going to be the first year that we've done it on a Saturday. Saturday evening we're going to have live music, craft beer, Fire Pit Bar and Grill is going to be serving food. We'll have sets of bags out there to play, maybe a tournament. I don't know if we get enough people. Should be good. It's from 4 to 9. So we figured this year, being the first year, we'll see how it goes. And plus it's getting towards the end of September, it might be kind of cool after 9 o'clock. So we'll see how it goes. Come out. The band is Rockaholics, really good. Sunday is our normal Mill Fest, like everybody remembers, our 23rd year. We've got all the reenactors, crafters, vendors. Fire Pit Bar and Grill is out there again. Archie's is going to be there. Yeah, everything. We are looking for, you can see these all over town, so if you have any information. We are looking for people to bake, and we just came off the county fair. A lot of winners. See if they'd be up to baking and contributing to our bake sale. And this Saturday, if anybody has a few hours to come and help at the mill, just to clean up, not a lot, just kind of some dusting, cleaning some glass shelves and things like that. Everything's pretty much taken care of. So we got the liquor license this morning. We ordered a porta pot that we're going to own. So then, even after the fest, we'll have some surfaces up there so people don't have to leave, and hopefully maybe keep them around a few more minutes longer and check more things out. So a lot of good things are going on, a lot of stuff getting done. Thank you. See you guys out there.
Good. Looking forward
Thanks,
to it.
Ed. Thanks.
Thanks, Ed. Alright, moving on to the consent agenda. Item A, we're approving the minutes of the August 25th, 2025 regular village board meeting. Approve the payroll for and accounts payable. Payroll for the period ending of August 30th, 2025 is $77,002.87. Accounts payable for the period ending 9/5 of 2025. General fund, $102,436.96. The tip one fund, $346.87, for a total of $102,783.83. Item C, we're going to approve the trick or treat hours for October 31st, 2025, 4 to 7 p.m. Item D, approve the special event permit for Peatone High School Student Council Golf Cart Parade, September 27th, 2025, 605 West North Street. The lineup is at 3 p.m., start is at 3:30 p.m. Item E, special event permit for Peatone High School Homecoming Parade, October 10th, 2025, 605 West North Street, starting at 4 p.m. Approve a special event, item F, approve a special event permit for Cornerstone Coffee House and Chamber and Sons Plumbing, Trunk or Treat, with road closures on First Street from Corning Avenue to Main Street, October 26th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Trustees have any questions? Anything want removed? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Sluse, second Sturba.
Trustee Bowden?
Yes.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Richards?
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to the staff and committee reports. We'll start with Troy.
Okay, not too much to report on this month, or 2 weeks, sorry. Crawford, they did the striping, I believe, last week, and the only thing we're waiting on is the sod, which I heard could come later this week or possibly next week. I did not get a definitive date on when. Same with Conrad, storm sewer job, waiting on the sod, likely this week or next week.
Very good.
Yep.
And they came out really nice. Thank you. Bob?
Troy summed up my report. I may hold off on that sod just because of the warmer temperatures coming this week. So I'll push it until next week.
Okay,
It's a little cooler.
very good. Chief? have
No
anything?
report.
No report? All right. Moving on to Nick.
We've been working on the Placer AI. That last meeting, we approved that, so we've had a couple sessions with them, lots of interesting things with that. Working on some potential economic development ideas, both housing and businesses, so hopefully that will materialize. And getting ready for IML next week to learn. There's a lot of topics on TIFs and other hot topics, so report back on that after IML. So, thanks.
I have only one other thing to mention. The Peatone American Legion Ladies Auxiliary. They have their 100th anniversary celebration this Friday, the 12th, at 1 o'clock. Congresswoman Ann Haas. Jackie Haas is going to be there, and she's going to present them with a proclamation, yeah, sorry. And so I hope everybody can make it to that. There is no old business. And moving on to new business. Item G, the audit presentation by Lauterbach and Hammond.
Good evening,
Hello.
everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Courtney Moore. I am one of the audit principals at Lauterbach and Hammond, and I'm here to present the March 31st, 2025 audited financial statements for the village. Before I get started, I did want to say a huge thank you to Anne Marie and also Nick for all their hard work in getting everything pulled together for the audit. It does take a lot of work outside of the regular scope of job duties to not only prepare for us to take the trial balances and test them, but to also help bring them to the final copy that you see in front of you today. So thank you so much for all of your help. State statute requires that an audit is submitted and completed within 6 months of your fiscal year end. The purpose of an audit is for us to perform various tests and procedures on your financial statements to ultimately form an opinion. We did give the village an unmodified opinion. It is also known as a clean opinion. It is the highest opinion that we can give. It states that the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects, and we can rely on the internal control environment of the village. Additionally, in our SAS 114 letter, which is our communication to all of you, those charged with governance, we note that we did not have any difficulties or disagreements with management throughout the process. So I did want to touch on just a few key financial highlights for the year. If you have a copy of the audit in front of you, these are pages 27 and 28. So your general fund balance at the end of the year was about $11 million. This was an increase in fund balance from last year of about $127,000. So overall, your general fund continues to stay positive. Your special revenue funds, these are your motor fuel tax fund, your TIF2, and your business development district funds, also reported positive fund balances at the end of the year. Motor fuel tax being about $170,000, your TIF2 being $656, and your business development district had an increase of about $376,000. Your capital improvement fund also had an ending fund balance of about $248,000, which was an increase of only about $20 from last year. So overall, your fund balances and a majority of your governmental funds continue to stay sound from year to year. One of the things that I did want to mention that you'll see, there was a restatement called an error correction. There was a transfer from the general fund to the police pension fund that was not captured in the year that it was supposed to. So you'll see that this error correction was fixed in order to show the proper contributions to the police pension fund as it was supposed to be. Past the financial statements, we have the notes to the financial statements, which really explain everything and anything you may need to know about the financial statements, specifically details on capital assets and your pension plan, as well as budget to actual. The other document that is required to come from our audit is something called the management letter. These are any recommendations of best practices, policies, or procedures that may have come up during the audit process. One of the things that I wanted to mention was that your business development district did have a $655,000 deficit fund balance this year, so ultimately your expenses were higher than your revenues this year. So we do recommend the village investigate the cause of the deficit. And there were a couple recommendations that we repeated from last year to this year that I just wanted to make sure you were all aware of. The village's cash in your bank accounts were not fully collateralized through FDIC insurance the last couple of years. So we do recommend taking a look at that and considering maybe spreading your risk or purchasing additional collateral as necessary in order to ensure that your bank balances are fully collateralized at year end. One of the other recommendations we had were related to bank reconciliations, which I know the team is working very hard on fixing. So the management response does say that the village is working on putting additional procedures in place to make sure that your bank reconciliations are completed timely. The final recommendation that I did want to bring to your attention, you had two funds that were spent over budget, so your motor fuel tax fund and your TIF 2 fund. Your expenses did increase, your expenses were higher than what you had budgeted for this year. So we do recommend taking a look at your budget on a regular basis, and then potentially considering any budget amendments if necessary. So with all that being said, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on the audit, the financial statements, management letter.
And the police pension fund, so it was a clerical mistake?
It was a timing mistake.
Timing, okay.
Yeah, it was something that should have been captured in last year's audit. It wasn't. It was moved when it was supposed to be moved, so that piece was fine. We just had to adjust the financials.
Okay. Good. And then on the BDD, can you briefly say what happened there?
Yeah, so your BDD fund ended with a deficit fund balance of about $655,000. From what I can see in your financial statements, it looked like your expenses were about $3.5 million and your revenues were only 2.5. So ultimately your ending fund balance and your ending like retained earnings in that fund was negative.
Okay.
So I can probably add to that a little bit. The board had included in the 2025 budget an $875,000 transfer from the general fund to the BDD.
True that.
Because the BDD had enough cash, I didn't actually do that transfer.
Oh.
So that's why the deficit fund balance was there. So once that transfer is done, and it'll be done in 2026, once we get the final expenses of that project, then that fund balance will be positive.
Okay.
That's
Thanks.
a good point.
And then you're auditing just conformance to policy, right? You're not
State statute.
state statute.
So state requirements, so there's also the Illinois comptroller that requires the audit to be submitted, so we're working with the team to get that submitted. It's due at the end of the month.
Okay. But you're not auditing conformance to policy, or you did? So
Oh.
did we follow our own rules is my question?
Yes. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Nope. No.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Thank
you.
Courtney.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just, if I can just really quick, usually there's like a motion of it, like acceptance of the audit by the board. I'm not sure if that was included in the.
It says discussion item.
It was discussion, okay.
Can we
Yeah, that's fine.
discussion or no?
No, you should put it on the next agenda.
Okay, so the next.
Just put it on as an item on the next agenda.
Just to
We'll
accept
formally
it.
accept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, care.
Okay, moving on to item H, approve new liquor license due to a partial change in ownership to Vignac Liquor Incorporated, doing business as Piatone Tobacco and Liquor, 422 South Governor's Highways, Suite 5 and 6, Piatone. Do you want to do a quick
Yeah.
explanation on that?
So just very quickly, this business has been in business for a while. They had a restructuring of their ownership percentages. And because they exceeded 51% change, it required a new liquor license. It's not completely changing out ownership, it's just some family members shifting the percentages. So we contacted board members and just said, we're gonna kind of let it float until this meeting, because this was just last week. But this will give them a new license with the current ownership and just continue on with the license that they paid for, since it's the same family. It's not like one family selling to some completely new owners. But we've had no issues with this operator, and we thought this was a good thing to just be friendly to one of our good businesses in town, so. But this should be good to go now with their new license, so.
Motion?
Second.
Motion Sluse, second Sturba.
Trustee Bowden?
Yes.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Richards?
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Moving on to item I. This will be resolution 25-R-17. Resolution approving a crack ceiling proposal from Denler Incorporated in the amount of $16,500. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion Sturba.
Second.
Yeah.
So these are the really exciting things we do, crack sealing. So in the memo, I kind of just gave you, in case you don't know what crack sealing does, it extends the life of our road. But last year, we had only one bidder, and so I worked with the Public Works Manager. We tried to make a little more aggressive push and released a formal RFP. So that was released in August, returned in the beginning of September, and I want to give credit to Bob and the effort, because we have 3 quotes as opposed to just one last year, and I would say the pricing was also competitive, which is positive. And I asked Bob, is this a similar amount of work? He said, yeah, pretty much. But the low bidder, which was responsive and was very professionally done, is 33% less than last year's bid. So I think competitive bidding is a good thing, and maybe there's a correlation to that, but the low bidder is only $16,650 as opposed to $24,000 last year. So I think we're getting a good product at a better price, and so kudos on being a little more aggressive and getting out there and talking to people, so.
Is this in Bob's budget?
It is in the budget, yes. So, yeah. And this is something that, is something we do in addition to repaving and other construction, but it just helps prolong the life. So Bob, I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Yeah, I can. So you'll notice these streets this year, we'll have to go back to these streets probably 2 or 3 years from now, because they're gonna continue to crack. But if we continue to keep doing crack seal, we're gonna get some more years out of our roadways. If it gets too much crack seal, then it's not worth doing it anymore, so we'll see how it goes. So, I just wanna give you a heads up on that. If you see down the road that these streets come back up, that's because we have to keep addressing them, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We got a motion second, but it's up to vote. Casey, we have to vote still.
Yeah. Get a motion by Sturba, second by Hudson.
Right.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Richards?
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Trustee Bowden?
Yes.
All right, we're going to close this session and go into an executive session for litigation when an action against or affecting on behalf of a particular public body has been filed and is pending before court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case basis for the findings shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting, 5-IL-CS 1202C11. I get a motion.
Motion. Second.
Not on
It's, it was okay.
Motion started with second.
Trustee
Zero.
Richard?
the, yes,
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
yes,
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Trustee Bowden?
Yes.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
There will not be any action on this item afterwards.
Where's the language we usually have? Well, because we didn't anticipate what happens when we post it. This is